What is going on, everyone? My name's Boyt, and I'm back with some more Age of Mythology. The Titans action spawning on the top of the map in the blue color, playing as Odin. His name is the Rapl. His opponent today in the red color, playing as Set. His name is Shelty. The map is Oasis. This is a best of 5 for the Vubli Champions League Season 2 playoffs quarterfinals. Only 1-0 for Shelty. Taking that first game with some nice Poseidon play on Borderlands. Moving into game number 2, we have the map Oasis here. And a god change for Shelty. He's been playing basically random gods this entire tournament. And basically, he hates playing the Norse mirror. He'd rather just abuse Norse by playing whatever he feels like. So he's picking Set here on Oasis. A little bit of a funny one, to be honest. I'm a bit surprised to see Set on Oasis. Maybe he feels like he can send that priest forward and maybe convert and steal some of the giraffe of his opponent. We'll see how he's going to go. Let's see what he's scouted out. He hasn't actually used his vision just yet. I really feel like it's not a bad play. If you cast vision over on this corner here, send the hyena over here, and the priest over here, if you don't spawn anything, and you try and find your opponent's giraffe and steal them nice and quick, that's going to be a tough time for your opponent to really play. Clearly, they're going to be looking to find it, and you are seeing the Rapl spots that priest. That's got to hurt there. Nice play from Rapl to find that one with a double Ulfsark. Going to be taking that priest down. The hyena takes 60 seconds to convert. So if that priest gets targeted, before 30 seconds is up, the hyena is not going to get converted in time, and the priest will die. So you basically have to have it on the hyena for 30 seconds already. Otherwise, you better be running. Anyways, still finding some goat here. One of the better ways to play at the start of the game is to bring your hyena to help defend the priest early, because this happens a lot, and this hyena probably needs to be defending that priest in order to get those hunt conversions, especially if you go for a steal like up on the top of the map here. And we do see that the giraffe have been found. Shelty already making his way over there. 3 villagers on gold. I honestly wouldn't be surprised to see Shelty go Anubis here. Now, while Tar is kind of the more meta god, on a map like Oasis with this much hunt, you've got 4 giraffe spawn, and was it 5 zebra? I believe it was 5 zebra spawn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Minus, yeah, probably 5. Might have been 4. But if you can get out the 2 monuments, you got all these goats. Anubis, very difficult to defend against because of those Anubites. And because it's sort of semi-high hunt, you force out Herser from the Odin player. It's going to delay his heroic gauge a ton because he's going to have to deal with those Anubites. And then following that, you're in a world of pain. Now, what you definitely don't want to be doing here is grabbing 2 town centers, because that's going to be playing straight into what the Odin player is going to want to do here. So as we see the temple coming up, we don't see a monument, so not sure exactly what he's going to be doing, but a classical 5 Ptar is also not that bad, because you can use that shifting sands to either jump onto the opponent's hunt over here later and pick off all the villagers, or you can use the shifting sands to steal your opponent's units into your base as an option. We see some more houses coming up. Just about to click advance here. Let's check this out. Rapl just about to click up. A little bit late, but he did go 2 Ulfsark, so it's kind of standard. 6 villagers on wood, on food. 4 villagers on gold. 5 villagers on wood. And he's spreading out his goats nicely. Kind of prefer to, like, a lot of people spread them out in 3s and spread them out really far. I prefer to do like 1, 1, 1, 1, 1 like this, like sort of just kind of far away. Doesn't really matter. Doesn't really matter. Now I see an Ulfsark coming in onto this side. I'm going to be looking to raid this location here just a little bit, but both players up at about the same time should be completely fine to deal with that. We see a villager coming over here onto the lumber camp. This could be a straight fast heroic here. 1 town center fast heroic. Isn't a bad play, but still no monument is making me believe this is possibly going to be a second town center here for Shelty, and we'll see how it's going to go. We already see a wall coming up here for Rapl. Really smart to throw this wall up in anticipation for the Anubites, because if it's far enough away, it's going to be completely fine. There's the vision onto his opponent's base, and he does end up stealing those goats that were there And that's going to leave Rapl with only 8 goats, and Shelty is going to have 20. But he is down to god power, and it is a strong god power, so stealing that is fine. But honestly, might have been better to do something else. We are seeing this hunt over here going to get grabbed very, very quickly. And if Shelty's going for a fast heroic, he should be aiming to try and get to the heroic age by about 8 minutes. 2 town centers, 8 minutes heroic age. While seeing these goats making their way up to the top side of the map. Do we see husbandry? We do not see husbandry with only 1 villager on wood. Small mistake there. Would have been better to take 2 of these villagers off of gold, have them over onto wood, and get the husbandry out as soon as possible. But he does have a beautiful gold mine here. We're going to see Shelty. We're going to see Rapl probably grab a second town center here. It's delayed second town center, but your Norse, it's fine. Being behind on the villager count as Norse is normal because your villagers gather more efficiently than your opponents. Thank you so much for the 3 months, C-Mac59. Appreciate you, man. We see the giraffes getting giraffed. And there's the husbandry now coming in. So it's fine. It's good. I don't think we saw pickaxe just yet, but pickaxe isn't that necessary at this stage of the game. I'm surprised to see the Pharaoh empowering a gold mine with only 3 villages. When there's the food over here that probably needs to be getting grabbed. Villagers do finish over here. 230 food left in that giraffe. He left that. Very surprised to see that. And still no armory down. We do see that the barracks are up. So maybe Shelty wants to stay classical age here with a couple of spears. Put some pressure on. Maybe hit this food over here if he can. Does he know about it though? That's the question. He's got no idea where the giraffe are. No idea at all. So this is a little bit of a surprise for me. The spear's kind of useless at this stage of the game. It's like, I don't understand why he wouldn't just go heroic age, but we'll see if Shelty's going to make it work. It looks like this spear is going to fall. He's got no idea how to get home. He's just jumping back and forth, getting jabbed by this Valkyrie and just not having a good time there. No idea what it wants to do. There's the armory coming up. A little bit of idle villager time here for Shelty, and you can see he's actually got a lot of gold in the bank here. You only really need 5 villagers on gold if you want to be doing any sort of fast heroic strat, semi-fast heroic strat, because everything costs such low gold. We are seeing this early grab of the far gold mine here. I like this from Rapl. This is something I want to see more often. Grab the more unsafe gold mines early in the game against Egyptian players and non-aggressive things, and we'll see. It's normally pretty good. We are going to see these spears making their way forward, and they may actually find this hunt over here, but there are already a couple of Hersers, these spears, looking for over in this quarter here. As I say this, looks like they're going to spot this gold mine, but they don't spot anything on it. And he will try and retreat out this side. He can pick off the Ulfsark if he wants, but he's not going to really get out of here through that wall. That wall will finish here. Nice play from Rapl to trap these spearmen in. That's why you don't really want to go running. He does manage to get out though. Not quite. The wall goes up so quickly. Not fast enough. He could have jabbed the Skraeling, but I think you can Alt-S that one. As we're seeing a 3rd town center now coming up for Shelty. That's pretty wild. He is sort of playing into like a Ragnarok strat here from Rapl, and definitely playing into fast heroic Skadi or semi-fast heroic Skadi with the Huskal and all the other good stuff. Huskal and Jarl and big pushes. Now we see Shelty just about to click up to the next age as he's getting his 3rd town center. So it's a decent start. About a 10-minute heroic age. Skadi coming through as well for Rapl. And the town center is up. He can finish off this giraffe if he wants to. Surprised to see him not actually take it. It's very, very important. We see these spearmen all getting sniped here by Rapl. Going to re-heal his raiding cavalry back up. He's going to start making some of those throwing axemen in order to deal with those spears, and then start making his Migdol or his Hillfort. We see the 3rd town center now coming up for Rapl. Playing it pretty safe, pretty smart, just kind of chasing the town center grabbing of Shelty nicely here. Question's going to be, what is Shelty's plan? How does he deal with Frost? And how does he deal with Ragnarok? Those are the two things. Rapl might even decide to just go tier here because his economy is going to be so big. You can see the population is 75 right now for Rapl, 42 to 52 villages. It's a 10 villager lead for Rapl, but his villages, he's like, we can go over this again. His dwarves are actually going 0.3 faster than the laborers. So they get so much more resources per dwarf than a laborer does. So you have to be very far in front on these on the villager count, because if you've got 9 dwarves-ish, maybe 10 dwarves, that's 3 more villagers, 3 more laborers in terms of gather rate, right? So the fact that he's at 44 kind of meaning that he is about 12 villages higher than it looks. So it's still very, very close in terms of resources and income and all of that good stuff. Now the Scorpion Man, obviously that's not accounting for the Pharaoh, but here's what it is. You gotta account for the fact that your opponent's probably not using his Pharaoh on all of his economy. And we see the dwarves coming over onto this side here. So coming in to finish off these walls. Hill fort over on this side. Maybe Rapl going to make a push over here, but I sort of doubt it. I sort of expect to see Rapl try for a decent heroic age, decent mythic age time. He's just about to run out of goats though because of that shifting sands from earlier from Shelty. Remember, if Shelty didn't use that, he would have a lot of goat left, and this could be a very fast mythic time. We're seeing that the Hersa put on display what the Spearman put on earlier here, as he just had no idea how to escape certain demise. And now we see the Frost Giant coming in, gonna hit the Scorpion Man. Now Shelty making a big push here, moving in with the villagers. He wants to push off this gold mine, potentially put a Migdol stronghold in here. He doesn't quite have the resources for it. Maybe worthwhile to throw down a siege works instead. The villagers moving forward. There are a lot of units here as the Pharaoh in the back, the Frost Giant in the front. Big forest fire here from Rapl, going to be dealing a decent amount of damage onto Shelty, and Shelty is going to be taking this fight here as he can't really retreat as Rapl has managed to completely surround him. But the Frost Giant is falling in the back. There is one in the front, but there are these 2 heroes ready to start sniping this. The Scorpion Man easily able to push forward. There's the Migdol stronghold coming up now for Shelty as he's ready to start pushing in. It's 144 population to Rapl's 108 population here. So a big advantage in the population for Shelty as he's going to be pushing in. He's grabbing Bowsaw at this point, going to get the economy going. So Bowsaw, not actually worth grabbing by itself. You want to grab Carpenter straight away after that if you are going to be investing into a lot of wood. Otherwise, better to be grabbing a different upgrade. We are seeing the Scorpion Man, the elephants, and the siege tower taking down this town center, but the villagers doing a nice job to defend as more elephants coming back in. And Rapl sort of has to retreat, still needs to just get some more units. All of his buildings are sort of on the wrong side of the map. He's kind of traveling very far to deal with this, and this town center does look like it is about to fall down as both the elephant do fall though, but there is still a lot of those spears, and Scorpion Man dealing with this, but maybe Rapl can hold on to this one. We are seeing the Huskal are out. Really smart to make these Huskal against this army. The Huskal only got 15% hack armor. They do decently against the Spearmen. They absolutely clap the Chariot Archers. And it's a decent choice to go in with this unit comp, and it's completely destroyed all of Shelty's push here. We're seeing the potential siege tower going to attempt to move in here, but that will easily get defended. We also see Rapl just attempting to get those units out. He is at full population now. I'm not sure where all of his army is, but he's at full population. He's got a lot of resources in the bank. He needs to repair this town center. And he is going to be throwing up a hill fort over here as Shelty attempts to repopulate and push in here. But at this point, it's looking pretty scary for Shelty. He's not making this push work at all. Maybe if he can take the town center down, he can continue to apply pressure here. But he's not really making that effort to get it, and he doesn't have any priests here. So these Frost Giants are going to make these expensive elephants basically useless. Well, if he microed them at all, they would have hit both of them. But Instead, he's deciding to go after the hill fort and get that up. And town center is getting repaired. Fortified town centers coming through as well. Now we see the Huskars coming in to snipe these chariot archers. We do see the villagers having to get pulled off the farms yet again to deal with this siege tower. It's going to be very, very close. Fortified town centers on its way. If that comes through, it's going to be lights out for any attempt to push onto this town center. It looks as though the fortified town centers will come through. 90% coming in now. 100 HP, 158, or nearly 200 HP left on the town center. And there it is. Jumps straight up to 1,000 HP there. Nice play from Rapl to get that one. Going to start pumping out even more units now. The Jarls even coming in. We are seeing an attempted mercenary push from Shelty as he realizes how important this push is for him to win this game. We're seeing some priests coming in as a forward temple does pop out here, and Shelty has the mercenary. He's got the units, he's got the tower, but he doesn't have any way to take this town center down just yet. We'll see if he can make this work or not. We are seeing Rapl starting to get some upgrades, getting heavy infantry, copper shields. He's at 155 population. At this point in the game, we see the Frost Giant gonna freeze the elephant in its tracks. The siege tower's making their way back in onto this town center, but it's already up to nearly 1,500 HP, and the siege towers go down so quickly, and this is so many resources just getting thrown away by Shelty in this game. We see the siege tower going to attempt to get pulled back. No attempt at building any axemen or mixing axemen into this army for Shelty. Probably not a bad idea considering all the infantry that is getting built, and we are seeing the siege towers now going to make their way over onto the hill fort over here in order to take that one down. And you can see Rapl currently at 92 villages. He has 92 villages. His economy is absolutely huge here. If we check out his economic upgrades, we'll see what he's got. He's kind of got no upgrades. That's a mistake. He needs to be thinking about getting his upgrade. He is getting sharp line. He needs to think about irrigation and winter harvest. If you can get what is it? Flood control plus winter harvest. So fully upgraded farms, Norse farms. Your farms gather at the same rate as an Odin villager hunts. That is without hunting dogs. So that's Odin villager hunting without hunting dogs is the same rate as flood control winter harvest farms. So getting those upgrades out really quickly is super vital. And we are seeing Rapl really struggling to rebuild his army here. He's going to actually lose this entire position. Does he have his market up? He doesn't have a market up. And he's struggling to get his army out because he didn't rebuild buildings anywhere. And somehow Shelty is making this push work. And Rapl is sort of hitting a brick wall in terms of his production here. And the Pharaoh is out. There is funeral rites on the Pharaoh. Look at the damage. Boom. Basically, this Frost Giant's got 69% pierce armor, but the Pharaoh does tons of damage because of funeral rites. So he has to retreat back. He almost snipes the Pharaoh. Pharaoh going to stay alive for the time being. Nice play from Shelty to keep that one alive, but he definitely shouldn't have allowed it to walk into that hill fort there. I've seen those spearmen go after all of these units here. We're not seeing any real attempted push over here. We've got the trade route up now started for Shelty. He's got 4 camel caravans out. Going to be attempting to get as many of those as he possibly can. And Rapl's only real hope here, it seems to be the fact that he's got a lot of villagers. He may actually lose this town center. Shelty needs to stop making chariot archers and just make siege towers here because he's got way too many chariot archers in his army, but he is going up through Horus now, so that's huge. Rapl's going to be able to go up through Balder very, very soon. We are seeing the siege tower trying to come down and take this town center down. It's going to do a lot of damage here, but the town center going to live for the time being. The army for Rapl going to come back in, and Shelty's going to be very, very concerned right now. I don't see him with any upgrades on the Axemen. I don't see him with any Axemen. I don't see him with a lot of barracks out at all, and he is about to face potentially a 400 population ragnarok, or close to. What is it? 96 times 3. Do the math for me. Nearly 300. Plus 60, or 360 pop. That's my guess. 360 plus 15. 375. And we see the Sea Shower getting deleted in the back. Frost Giant's coming back in. He wants to hold on. He does have a ton of Huskell. He's just begging Shelty to make Axemen, and finally we're starting to see those Axemen come in. Irrigation finally coming through for Rapl. Balder 50% of the way in. Do you see that the Raven spots the trade route as well? So it's going to be very easy for him to push in there. We are seeing tons of walls now coming up for Shelty as he realizes what is inevitably coming his way. The town center's still going to stay alive. Rapl with a lot of resources in the bank here. Bronze mail coming through. How's the armory upgrades looking? Is almost full bronze. And Shelty on the other hand, obviously no upgrades. Quarry coming through. And there is the Ragnarok. No, there is the Tornado. I thought that was the Ragnarok there as Shelty hits the Mythic Age first. It does pick off that town center, and unfortunately for Rapl, he lost a lot of units there, so he's not going to go up to 160 pop before he rags. He's going to have to rag at 140 pop as he's not going to be able to push back through. So nice play from Shelty. There is the Mythic Age for Rapl. What is he getting? Is he going to get engineers? He is getting engineers. Will he get the Dwarven Augur? Can he afford it? He doesn't quite have the resources for it. He's got a lot of portable rams though. He's going to send those Huskell straight in onto the Chariot Archers. We see the villagers attempting to get ready to get this town center up, but I don't think Rapple's going to be allowing that one just yet. Now we've got 6 rams here. I'd love to see an extra fire giant. Get 2 fire giant. That's going to be able to clean up those axemen a little bit easier. Meanwhile, we should start seeing Shelty grab heavy axemen, champion axemen. Start getting some copper mail, bronze mail, iron mail. There's the Ragnarok. Do these rams have anything extra? No, they don't. And this is a 321 population rag, a little bit lower than he would have liked. He does have a lot of rag units, and he looks like he's just going to move around completely on this side. How many resources in the back? He's got 6 camel caravans, 2,500 wood, 1,400 gold. Plenty enough to get going here and make this push work. The portable ramps easily going to clean up these buildings, but for some reason, Rapl pulling off the Migdol here, maybe clicking on the watchtower, wants to take that down first. And finally, Genji's mind back. A couple of those rag heroes going to be getting this town center up, and the Migdol goes down so quickly to these portable rams. Nice play from Rapl. Shelty needs to pull back, taking these fights here. Not the best of ideas because the rag heroes, they don't really die at this stage with this amount of bulkiness. Seeing the rag heroes now going to come over here. I'd love to see Rapl push through past these stone walls into the trade route and try and prevent that. We do see Dwarven Augur is now on the way. And you'll see this crush damage go up. I think it goes up like 68 or 69 or something like that when he gets that. So they start doing so much damage. So we'll see how that goes when Dwarven Augur comes through. But Shelty's struggling to really produce here. He's got a couple of these barracks out here on his front. He's going to need to keep pushing back and getting pushed back into his base and hold on for as long as he possibly can. He's got no gold in the bank. He's not empowering his market here, so this trade route not being as efficient as possible. We do see this go up to 68 crush damage, and he has clicked directly onto the town center, hitting the town center early before the mercenary spam does come through. There is the Ancestors going to try and force out a frost. Not a bad try here. Maybe try and juke the frost with the villagers or something by garrisoning them, but we're not seeing the frost just yet. There it is as the town center falls. The portable rams all going to stay alive, and they're going to start taking down everything else. Now the stone wall over here getting taken down as Rapl is going to move in and start taking down the trade route of Shelty. He could just wall this off if he wants to. He's got a decent amount of gold in the bank. Actually, no, he doesn't. He's spent it all on fire giants, even though he can't build them just yet, but here's what it is. Do we see coinage? No, we don't see coinage. Small mistake from Rapl there. Not getting that upgrade. It gets you a lot more gold. In fact, I believe is it 10% increase or more? 20%. So it's literally just a 20% increase in gather rate. That's what it means. Because if you get 20% more move speed, that means they dump 20% faster, right? Right? And now we see Rapl going after the hometown center, hitting the Pharaoh. Got some Axemen out for Shelty, but Shelty's at 102 of 130 population. He's got a couple of those barracks over here, but there's just so much rag left. So 200 population. So looks like Shelty's going to lose his hometown center here, though. A lot of those villages do fall. And a lot of those portable rams fall, actually. So a lot of this rag has been cleaned up, but the problem for... Honestly, the problem for Shelty is, so what? Even if he cleans up all of this, he's lost both his town centers. Rapl's got a decent amount of resources to repopulate with, and he's going to be completely fine here. Even if Shelty can deal with it all. We just see the Axemen dealing with some of these rag heroes in the back. But Rapl too smart, going to be bringing more of those heroes in order to deal with these heavy Axemen. Now we see the portable rams going after this town center as well. Shelty does pop out with the villagers, going to pick them off very, very quickly. They do not have a lot of HP or a lot of armor, and the villagers pick them off very quickly. Does manage to deal with that. We see the market is up over here. These camel caravans not going to be getting all too much gold at all for Shelty, who's sitting with 21 gold in the bank. In fact, I don't think they're getting any gold at all with that trade route there. Would have maybe, I don't know, at this point, and Shelty does decide to tap out in the 25th minute mark. GG. Well played by Rapl. Very nice defense. Huge ragnarok. Shelty just not able to defend against it. Nice try from Shelty with the early 3 town centers tornado push. He did make it tough for Rapl, but this is not the way you need to play this matchup as Egyptian. You don't want to go into a boom war against a Norse player because the rag hits too hard. You got to go for something a little bit more aggressive. A Nubites here would have been really difficult to deal with because, well, you would have been able to push off the hunt over here, jump in onto the gold, do all the damage, plus the classical army would have been huge as well. And also the fact that Norse players aren't really ready for the Egyptian classical fight. Haven't seen it very much. It is what it is. If you guys enjoyed this game, please consider hitting the follow on the Twitch. If you're on the YouTube, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next game.